Good morning, stampers and crafters. Welcome to Tina's Crafty Ink Spot. I have a card for you today that I promised one of my team members I would do a video on to show her, how simple this one card is. I had made it as gifts for some of my team. And the card features one of the new sets coming out in the catalog called Beauty of Friendship. Now this set is available in a suite, which means it'll include the stamp set, the dies, the designer paper. I believe it even has an embossing folder. And when I first looked at this, I was like, oh, that's kind of intimidating. But then I looked at the paper and, I was really amazed because, and you'll see when I show you this paper, I've been using the heck out of it. 10 years ago, I didn't buy a lot of the designer paper. I just didn't. I liked making my own techniques and colors and things like that. But the paper has really been stepped up over the years. And this is one of them. This is one of that I can't wait till I can order some more. I was able to order it on pre-order. When you're a demonstrator, you get to pre-order items. And this one that we're using today, actually, you see I've got it cut down from the 12 by 12, but when it's together, it's like this, okay? So you cut it at 6 and you have two really nice areas to use. We're also going to use some of the other colors that are just going to create the trees. I mean, it takes all the hard work out of you. It's got this beautiful watercolor textured look to it. Of course, it's always hard when there's something really pretty on the other side of these. This one we used for the tree. It's a nice watercolor green, but then again, it's got the beautiful background. But you're going to really want this paper. Look at this. I'm sorry these aren't 12 by 12 anymore because, like I said, I've been using the heck out of them. This will make great for Christmas card backgrounds. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then you've got, here's the green. I've actually got a full sheet of that one left with these pretty trees on the back. This piece, how perfect is this for your fall cards on these trees? Look at these colors. If I recall, I'll look up the colors here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And there's that beautiful blue one that's going to make excellent Christmas cards. You've got a nice sky watercolor here with a really pretty background. And then this one. Oh, I just love this. This could go for so many things. And you've got your wood grain. This one, I'm thinking of converting into something I can use this for like a military, it kind of looks like a military camouflage type look for me. So I'll think of something with that one. So the colors that come in this designer paper is bumblebee, that bumblebee yellow, that bright, beautiful yellow, Cajun Craze, one of my all-time favorites, Cinnamon Cider, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, and Whisper White. Wow. Okay, so you can just go crazy with this. So this is going to be one of the papers you're really going to want, and it's going to be what we're going to work with today. And we're going to put this card together real quick, and I'm going to show you what I did. Let me move these aside. So I already cut out, when you get the stamp set, it's a photopolymer set, and the new stamp cases, which is really cool, is on the inside of the paper here, that your case insert. They've actually put the images on the inside, so you can take your photopolymer off of the window sheet that they come on and actually stick them right to your case. I love that. And then you've got your dies for this one. You've got some beautiful tree dies. These are all the dies that come with it. Aren't those fabulous? Little birds. So that's what we're working with today. So to start this card, I'm going to show you what I did to the designer paper just to step it up a tiny bit. So we're going to take a piece of, let me find what I did with the piece we're using. See, I moved them all around and I moved it out of the way. Where did I put the piece we're using? It's the one I cut in half. Did I already move it? Oh, here it is. Alright, so I have this piece here, and that's what we're going to use. This is the one that if you cut it at the 6 inches, you're going to end up with 2 sides. Okay? And what I did is I made 2 cards with the one piece. So I'm going to cut this at 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I want to keep a little bit of the sky there. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off the bottom of that. Now save these. You can use these little pieces, which I have tons of for different cards, for other things. Now you could use this as it is for the card we did here today, but I wanted to add just a little bit of depth to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Pacific Point, my Cajun Craze, and my Mango Melody. And we're going to step this up a little. So you're going to take your blender brushes. I mark my blender brushes which color I use. Now you can, these new blender brushes are fabulous. They're easy to clean, a little soap and water, but I dedicate certain ones to certain colors. That's just kind of my thing. So let's get started. I'm going to take some of this Pacific Point, and I'm just going to add some color. We're going to basically, all we're doing is adding like a kind of a sunset sort of deal here. So as usual, when you're blending with your brushes, start off the paper and then go on. We're going to blend it down a little bit. And I always like my corners just a little bit darker, and maybe the top edge just a little bit darker. We're going to bring it down just a little bit, so then when we put our orange on there, it's going to blend and create just a little bit extra color there. Okay, let's bring in, I think I just stuck my finger in that ink pad. And grab a wipe. Don't judge, you've done it. You've stuck your finger in your ink pads before. That's why we do this, get all inky. So I'm going to grab my orange, and I'm going to do the middle area. And when you go a little bit into the blue, it's going to give you a little bit different color right there. So we're just blending it in there. It's going to kind of give it that sunset look and make these trees that are on this beautiful watercolor tree pattern, it's going to kind of push them back a little, I think. And the way I look at it, it kind of does. So we're going to come down a little bit so that when we blend our last color, okay, and then our last one is our Cajun Craze. And since this has got some Cajun Craze in it, it'll just make it pop a little more. And now by doing this as a 4-inch panel, you're going to have 2 panels to do 2 cards is what I did. So you kind of get 2 cards out of 1. Like my little corners a little bit darker in the bottom. Alright, there we go. Look at that. And you have stepped up your designer paper. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring my cutter back in. And I'm just going to cut this in half. So it's going to be cut at 2 inches. I'm going to set this one aside. Now we're going to take our regular A2 card base. This is basic white. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And now I'm just going to take my designer piece and I'm going to glue it straight down. Uh-oh, I might be out of glue. Oh, it might be out of glue. Let me see if I can get it. Sometimes when I first start my glue in the morning, it takes a little to get it going. There it goes, look at that. So I'm just going to put this to the right side of the card here. There you go. And now let's make our quick tree. So what I did is I took our tree base, okay, I'll save you the grief of me die cutting, and I cut an early espresso. And now this piece, which is the leaves of the tree, on one card I used the green. So I used the green watercolor. And on the other card I used that one that would make a great fall card. Let's go ahead and just use the green. And I'm not positive if I've cut one out already. I didn't. But we'll just bring in my mini Big Shot, my mini stamp and cut machine here. Oops. And we're going to use plate 1 and one of the cutting plates. And let's cut us some leaves here. And with this watercolor, it's going to give you your multiple colors. I mean, I remember you doing watercolor and baby wipe techniques that create all that. Now we've got paper. Okay, I've got to move this off here. Trying to hold it still. My hand's a little hard to grip it. So we've got our tree there. This little machine, so cute. Love it. If you don't have one, it's great for traveling. And so we're just gonna, if you have a die brush, it would work really good here. Let me grab the die brush. So just take your die cut, go over it with your brush a little bit. There you go, gets it all out of there. And this has got some pretty delicate edges, so I try not to pull on it too hard, so I'm just going to pop it through a little bit. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Set that aside. Now in the set also comes these two little birds. To create these really vibrant little birds that I put on this card, what I did is I always make like little, I take a piece of watercolor paper, and all I did is use my aqua painter, put together a little yellows and some Pacific Point, and I made a watercolor sheet. That's all I did. And then I have it to die cut images out of. I do that for a lot of things. Sometimes I want little watercolor type flowers or something. So I just have it on hand. And we die cut these two little birds, which the die on this is so intricate. It's even got a little, I don't know if that's going to show, where the little tiny wing is die cut in there. It's so pretty. So I'm going to take those two little birds and a basic black marker, and I'm just going to add a little eyeball. It's just a little extra something. You don't have to do that. Now we're going to take our tree, and the easiest way I've found is just put some glue right on your tree here. And then I'm just going to lay the tree on there. Let's see. Oops, I missed right there. There we go. We have our tree. How pretty is that, right? Okay. Now I'm going to put some mini dimensionals. And for the stem, I did one of my tricks where you have the edges of your dimensionals that you don't always use. So you can make your own size. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting my hand to work today. So I'm going to take that. There we go. Let's add some more random little dimensionals here. Of course, you want to try to hide them behind the tree leaf part. My little dimensionals aren't wanting to come off here. Add one more. Okay, maybe two. Well, no, we got one there. It might work. We don't want it to collapse. Now, I put my tree on before I stamped my greeting, in case my tree was out a little too far. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Oops. There we go. I think we got them all. There we go. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to line the stalk of the tree up at the bottom of here and right along the edge. And there you go. And by putting it on dimensionals, it gives it a little bit of character and depth. Okay, now I'm lost one of my little birds here. Where'd he go? It's probably stuck to me somewhere. We did. We lost it. We have a runner. It ran away. Well, we'll just put the one little bird on there for now. And I'll find another. It's got to be here. I must have dropped it or something. Like I did the card. Okay. So let's put a little dimensional on our birdie. Just going to put it right on the center of our birdie. And the minis fit perfect on here. So I'm going to pop him up. Let's put him about right there. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our Stamparatus. And let's pick a greeting. And there are some great greetings in this set. You truly inspire me. Friendships refresh the soul. Thank you. Hello. Thinking of you. I believe in you. Let's see, which one do we want to do? I really like this. You truly inspire me. I love the script on it. And I decided to stay with just a plain black greeting, just not to take from the effect of the card here. So let's line that up. Pick it up, and we're just going to use regular Memento Black. Look at that. How nice. See how quick this card's coming together? Now we're going to add just a couple little blings. I wonder where that little birdie disappeared to. He's a missing in action little guy. So when you have both your little birds, put them on there. Now in the new catalog are these clear gems you can get. They're kind of a metallic clear. So I kind of wanted to stick with that and just not be too bold. So let's grab one of these, put it here. Maybe let's put one there. And how about one more? Let's do one more up here by the birdie. And look at there. There is your quick, simple card. And the paper does all the work for you. All of it. So there you go. That was my quick card for today. Now on the other tree, I used one of the other DSPs in the pack to cut out more of a fall colored tree. And there you go. Hope you have a happy stamping day and you enjoyed today's card. Bye-bye now.